Okay, I'm Megan and I'm presenting my classroom management portfolio. The first thing on the list is the room preparation, and I went ahead and printed out, have a picture here of how I set up my classroom. I made sure to put the trash cans in spots where it wouldn't be distracted to other students, where it would be an issue to where if students got up and threw something away, they wouldn't really pay too much attention. The teacher's desk is in a spot where she can monitor and see all the students and still be productive themselves. Make sure to get my bulletin board and my storage space right here in the cubbies, and then down here in this bottom picture is some more storage for the teacher stuff. Have a bookshelf for the students to use that also is conveniently located off to the side, so it's not really it's a high traffic area, but nothing's in the way to stop or get in the way of students from getting their things. Activity table, whiteboard, overhead projector, and some, I call them off-task desks, where if students are acting up, just somewhere they can go to get away from the other students and not cause any more disruptions. Okay, so next on our list is rules and procedures. I'm not going to go through all my procedures, but my classroom rules are: respect yourself and others, be safe at all times, pay attention when the teacher is talking, give effort, and have fun. Being a PE teacher, I would say the second one, be safe at all times, is the most important rule I have, just because risk of injury is a lot higher in a PE setting, so we don't want anybody getting hurt. And my procedures, a lot of the stuff in my portfolio kind of just went by the book, so a lot of it is what everybody's pretty much familiar with. So next I have my grading system, and the way I did my grading system is I have 5 different aspects that the students will be graded on. The first one is attendance and participation. That's worth 10%. They have assignments, weekly assignments that are due, that are worth 30%. Projects, which are worth 20%. Tests are 30%, and a notebook, which is 10%. I think a notebook is a good idea just because it gives students the chance who maybe struggle with a class or have trouble particularly with tests. It's easy points they can get just from putting together all the work they've done so far. So next, the classroom materials or the beginning of school plan. And with this, I'm only going to go through the checklist of things that will be done before school starts. I'm not really going to go too much into detail. So I have decorate the bulletin boards, put up posters and other decorations up. You want, it's kind of a nerve-wracking time for kids when they first start school, so you want to make them feel comfortable in their environment. Also arranging the student desks, arrange the teacher's desk with all the equipment on it, set up computer workstations if you have that type of equipment available, arrange tables for work groups, take care of any pets or plants, put all textbooks away on bookshelves, be sure that frequently used materials are easy access, and put all teacher supplies at appropriate areas. So these are just some of the basic things that you could do to help prepare yourself for the beginning of school, and not only does it help keep the teacher organized, but it also helps the students keep themselves organized. Okay, next I have the lesson plan, and I actually just taught this plan yesterday, and it's called Introducing Maxine in the Matches, and is a 6th grade lesson plan that focuses on the aspect of first aid. And pretty much what I did was I went through some different things, like types of injuries like fractures, heat cramps, heat strokes, hypothermia, and went through the definition, the causes, the symptoms, and the first aid that can be given to assist with those things, and had the students take down notes for the first half of class, and then I had them at the end do a group activity at their desk. They were set up and already set up in groups, and they came up with a song dealing with all the stuff they had just learned, and they had to come up with a group name and then they had to do the song to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So this lesson actually went really well. I was surprised at how much the students got into it, how much they really liked what we were doing. So lastly, I have the cooperative groups, and the way I set this up is I'm going to have, like when I do the groups, most of the time I'll have them in threes. So what will happen is these three students will be a group, these three will be a group, these three will be a group, and so on and so on. And some of my procedures with this is, they'll listen to the directions first, and then once they're told to get into the groups, they'll just move their desks around in like a circle or triangle type formation so they can see each other and interact. And they are to do this quickly, quietly, and efficiently so that they can get more work done and stay on task longer. Some attention-getting strategies I use with this is kind of old school, I would say, like just flicking the lights on and off. Everybody notices it. It might get a little bit loud, screams and whatnot, but they quiet up real quick and they know that you want their attention. So that's my cooperative groups aspect. And my incentive reward plan. There's two that really stood out to me, and the first one is encouraging improvement, because to me sometimes some students may be bad test takers, and it's not that they don't know the information, it's just that they get nervous and other things become involved with their grades and why their grades are the way they are. So giving them another chance to redo something not only will boost their confidence when they do better on it, but also kind of take away from that anxiety, knowing that they'll get a second chance. The second one that caught my attention was the special activities and privileges. And this one really is if a group or a student finishes their work early and they've been really studious the whole class, I would have absolutely no problem with letting them read a book or do something quiet that's not disruptive to the other students that they would want to do, as opposed to just giving them busy work and stuff that really means nothing to them. Communication skills. When I answered this question, I had to think about it a little bit, but I would definitely say my inexperience is something that I guess I feel a little uncomfortable with. So one thing I could do to make sure this doesn't become a problem is ask a lot of questions to the students of how they like the lessons, or if they're learning, and making sure they're understanding what I'm doing. Another thing I can do is talk to other teachers who've been doing it a while. Nobody can give you any better advice than the people who have had that experience and been through it already. The last thing I can do to kind of make this not become an issue is kind of play the role of an experienced teacher. If a student thinks that I'm one of those teachers where I always know what's going on and I kind of have eyes in the back of my head, then they'll more likely give me more respect, thinking that I am an expert teacher and I know what I'm doing. The problem behavior strategies, I'm only going to go over one of these, and the thing that would make me feel uncomfortable the most is a lack of effort or unresponsiveness. And I think this is the most problematic for me just because of PE, and there's a lot of issues right now with students just not wanting to participate and just having attitudes and could pretty much care less about what I'm trying to teach them and show them. So some things I can do for this is talk to the student and see if maybe there's some underlying problems or reasons why there's a problem with behavior. Another thing, accommodate my lesson to, not necessarily to the student, but if I can kind of do something that student likes a lot and still be effective and get through it all the other students, that would also help with kind of helping them give more effort. And managing the special groups, I pretty much went by the book and what the book said with answering those questions. So that is my portfolio. Thank you.